And what about those people who actually they come here as visitors, and then they stay till after their visa expires and they're still here? Is there a way for them to actually become legal? Like, if there's any way, a process they can go through to become legal?
Yeah, it's still the same process for them. So you have to divide people who are here in two categories. The individuals who came and the government allowed them to enter the country. That's one category of persons. They will normally have a little white card, which is called I-94. That's the, you be on the airplane or on the ship. When you came to America, most people come by airplane. Or if you come through Canada, they'll give you a little card, they stamp it, the government say you can stay here 30 days, 90 days, 180 days, whatever amount of time. That's one category of persons. The other category will be individuals who abscond over the border. By that, they enter the United States without government inspection. The government treats these two people very differently. If you are admitted into the country and you overstayed your welcome, under the current law, you're barred from adjusting your status here for the period of 10 years. Let me rephrase that. If you overstay your welcome by more than 6 months, but less than a year, you're barred for 3 years. If you overstay more than a year, you're barred for 10 years. The exception to that rule is if you're sponsored by an American citizen spouse or by your minor children. Okay. Sorry, the minor children can't really follow you. So you gotta be sponsored by your children who are citizens or by your spouse. So for many people who have overstayed a visa, the only way for them to become a permanent resident is if they're married to a U.S. citizen and therefore deemed an immediate relative of a U.S. citizen, or their children file for them. There's also a provision in the law that allow you to show exceptional circumstances, and you could do that and apply for a waiver. It's very difficult to get the waiver. The exceptional circumstances are not to you, the person who is the immigrant. It will be to your relative.
Who is the permanent who is the citizen?
Who is the citizen or permanent. For example, if your brother or sister filed for you, you're not an immediate relative. You will be barred. However, if you could show extraordinary circumstances to your citizen brother, then you could, get a waiver. For example, let's say your brother may be blind or dependent on you, or something extraordinary. He needs help.
Yeah, it actually has to be really serious.
Serious. Yeah, they don't grant it easily. Okay, got you some major problems, and they say, okay, you're a benefit to this individual. Because you're providing for them, you're caring for them, whatever the situation is. The other category of individuals are those who abscond across the border, who the government didn't admit into the country. Those individuals can never adjust their status in the United States under any circumstances. They must leave. There's no help for them. Even if they're married to a United States citizen, can't help. If their children are born here and the children want to sponsor them, cannot help. If you enter this country without inspection, this applies primarily to people from Latin America who come across the Mexican border, a lot of Mexicans. There's nothing that can be done for you. So those individuals have to leave.